Hello everybody, RegiTime here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a small chunk of around a 2-hour session I played on Sky a couple of nights ago. I recorded the whole session. I didn't have any commentary to it because the intention is to The intention is to come back and review my own play a couple of days later, much in the same way I do with students that come to me. They'll often record sessions, particularly on Sky, because it's the best way to do it on Sky. And then we'll go back and look at the session with like a fresh pair of eyes and see what's going on. So I deliberately didn't review the session straight away because I wanted to kind of forget about some of the spots and be trying to see them as much with a new pair of eyes as I could. That's why we get on with playing the video. If you could hit like, if you could hit some comments up or share the video, I'd be delighted. I'm trying to get my subscribers to 1,000 by Christmas for no particular reason other than I'd like to do it. I'd like my videos to start getting more and more hits, and apparently the more comments and likes and shares you have, the better your chance, the more your videos and your channel reaches out to other people. Again, I've no intention of monetizing the channel. It's just an old man's hobby, and I'd like the channel to do as well as possible without ever really thinking about putting adverts and shit on it. That's not my intention at all, but the more views I get, the happier I'll be. So if you can hit the like button or whatever, do anything to help them, please do. So let's get into the video. We're going to be looking at about 20 minutes of it at a time. The video is like 1 hour 52, so we're probably going to do it in like 20 odd minute sections. So videos might last longer or shorter depending on how much action there's been in that particular 20-minute section, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to look at the tables. We've got some 5p 10p some 5p 10p tables, some 10p 20p tables. There's no order to them, they just are what they are, and throughout the session a couple of times tables do switch in and out. My tags are: green would be fun player, orange would be kind of regular but not a mass tabler, so kind of not sure what kind of regular. Red's just flat out regular, play a lot of tables, or solid winning player. If you see any light blue, that typically means like really gambly sort of recreational player. And if you see a purple, I think there's only 1 or 2 purples, it means spewy, probably bad regular. So there we go. There's my tags. Let's go. Try and keep up with them as best I can. And we're just going to pause the video and stop at any spots where we're in hands that look like they might get interesting. So we have a blue tag here now, Wild Rose. Got some interesting spots with Wild Rose over the session. Not particularly favourable either, if I recall correctly. I think it's just going to be a fold down on table 5 here with the ace-9. We don't beat much, even though it's a small bet. We don't beat anything. We need to be able to beat something when people, even when they bet that small, we need to be able to beat something. And I don't think we do there. So up on table 3 we have the ace king. I remember this spin. He was an interesting player, shall we say. At the time when this was made, I didn't know anything about him. I think against a green tagged player, this is just going to be a check. It's going to be a check fold, probably versus a large bet. I think this type of player is going to, if they have hands like pocket 6s, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, that type of thing, I think they're going to bet quite big when we check, just to protect against the exact hand we have. I'm not saying that's a good play, but that's what they tend to do. If you bet small, say like 30 pence or less, then we're probably going to call and see a turn. That would be how I hope I play it. So we did indeed check. Spin bets 38. That's kind of right on the borderline. What is that, about half pot? Maybe just slightly over half pot, was it? I think I'd probably call just once, but I don't like it at that price. We're starting to get to the borderline of like, I don't like it because it's too big. 30 pence for sure, 20 pence for sure, 10 pence for sure. 38 pence, again, like really, I'm not sure I want to call that much, but I'm going to guess that I probably do. Nah, we should probably just check fold this turn. Yeah, we should definitely be check folding versus that bet size. I'd be disappointed if I do anything else. Oh, it looks like I'm going to call. I don't like the call here because that's twice now he's made bets that to him might be reasonable sizes. I mean, it's not that reasonable. It's like only half pot twice. But it's starting to get expensive now to let bluff catch down against someone we don't know anything about, and I'm not sure I like this call very much. I think I would have preferred to see him instead just check fold. The 9 kind of doesn't scare any of the hands that have been betting. If he's been betting a 7, the 9's not that scary too. If he's betting a 5, obviously we're crushed. If he did have some kind of like straight draw, the 9 either pairs him up or makes him. So, oops, wrong button. So yeah, overall, I'd like to see us check fold. It looks like I'm going to make a check call. So I think this is a poor call from me. You can see I wasn't happy with it. I'm even less happy with it now. I don't think that's a good call. Wow, I bet it's 30 pence. I mean, now we have to, at this point, we need to call here now. Wow, I'm thinking of raising. What do I think of my thoughts here for raising? I kind of know why I'm doing it. I'm looking at that bet size and thinking, this guy's maybe just got pocket 6s or a 7 or pocket 4s or something, I guess. And I don't remember the hand. I remember this situation coming up quite often against spin, but I don't remember the actual hand as it's played, so I don't know what he turns up with here. And I don't actually remember what I do, so let's talk about it with a fresh pair of eyes. Against 30 pence, we can obviously just call. We're getting 10 to 1 on a call. We need to be like 10% of the time. We maybe are. Maybe he's just betting like ace 10 here. Stupidly. Maybe we can just call and make money, but do I like raising better? What do we expect him to fold if we do raise? Do we expect a player like this to fold a 7 very often? Maybe. Do we expect them to fold pocket 6s, pocket 4s, pretty much always, but I wouldn't expect them to bet those hands, and that's kind of the problem I have here with raising, is most of the hands he's betting for 30 pence that he's going to fold, we're probably beating anyway. And the thing he's betting 30 pence is going to call. If he's bad enough to have these weird bet sizings, he might just say fuck it and call anyway. I'd want to know more about the play before I made this. I'd want to have seen him use this size or this similar sort of size and fold before I make a raise like this. I think of a raise here. I can see why I'm doing it because of the bet size. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it's too early in the session against an unknown to maybe be going for it. I maybe would have preferred it in position because we maybe could have played him differently throughout the hand. If we were in position, he bet, we could have raised at some point earlier in the hand. We could have represented a stronger hand. We don't rep anything when we raise this river. We really don't. But having said that, against a green tag player, do we need to rep anything? Because are they thinking anything above the level of just their own hand? Overall, I think I'd prefer to see me call here, but it looks like I'm loading up a raise. Well, we did just go for the call, and I don't think there's any chance we would have got him off that hand. So I'm glad we didn't put the raise in. I was starting to get a bit nervous and I was going to spew. So we have a hand on. Oh, wow, we do have a hand. Oh, I remember this hand. Table 4. We have the aces, and I think this is possibly. I don't think I played a hand better all night. I think I played this hand absolutely perfectly. I mean, this takes an awful lot of skill, what I'm about to do here. You guys need to know how to do this. It's going to make you a lot of money. If you can master this, it's going to make you a lot of money at poker. You need to learn to get aces in versus kings and queens. It's a tough job, it's a tough skill, it's a tough situation to master. But if you can master it, you need to learn how to do this, and then even better, you need to learn how to make them hold. If you can do that, well, you're going to have a bright future ahead of you. So with the pocket 9s on this board, we obviously just call the 10 pence. Nothing much else we can do about it up on table 1. Then the 85 pence, I'm going to hope we just fold now. Yeah, we do. Good stuff. Crack on. Let's see if we can speed this playback up a little bit. It's just a little bit on the slow side, isn't it? Can we go a bit faster still? Yeah, I think so. Might be too fast now, but it wasn't going mega fast, was it? So we've opened the ace queen on table 1. Let's see what happens. We've got a multi-way pot with ace queen. This is a spot where a lot of you guys will get frustrated and you'll just stab. But situations like this, multi-way pot on a site like, well, in any site, but on a site like Sky in particular, it's just time to give up. You know, you could make an argument for just like stabbing 50p and just hoping everyone folds, but I think it's a poor argument. I think it's just a very easy check fold on table. It's frustrating, it's annoying, you've got a lovely hand, you've got multi-way with it and you've completely bricked. Just give up time. Don't battle for pots that you don't really have much of a hope of winning. So a big mistake I see lots of players making is they'll just see a flop and they just try too hard to win pots. They won't be making good decisions. The decisions they make are based on how do I win this pot rather than what's the best decision in this pot. Winning pots is nice, but it's just a byproduct of making good decisions. We don't go out. It's like Mike Carroll said back in one of his books. I think it was in Super System actually, or Super System 2, I'm not sure. And I don't want to hark back to all the things, but sometimes it's just good bits of advice that stand the test of time, and this is one of them. We don't get paid for winning pots in poker. Winning pots is just a product of making good decisions. So you don't just try and go out and win every pot, because you'll be the champion, like Carol said, you'll be the champion of winning pots. You'll win every pot until you go broke, because you know you'll win lots and lots of small pots, you lose all the big ones. It's one of the situations where, yeah, it's frustrating, but there's nothing much you can do about it. The best decision is just check fold. And yeah, for 30p we have to call, of course. Probably have to call again for 30p. Just because we're getting such good odds to draw to our ace. Maybe our queen's good. And then we just lose on the river. Never mind. And I guess that's something to touch on, because I know I do work with quite a lot of Sky players, and some Sky players do watch the videos. You will see a lot of that on Sky, people making horrendously small bet sizes, where you just feel like you have to call even though you know you beat. And it'll feel like you're hemorrhaging money. But when people are giving you such good pot odds to draw, just draw. It's good poker. Well, it's not good poker, but it's fine poker. If you think you've got maybe like 15% equity and then some implied odds should you hit your card that you want to hit, and people are like making really small bets into you, then just calling's the right play. It's the decisions on me. Should I raise? Should I call? Should I fold? Well, folding's probably not the question. Raising's not going to work too often. Raising in multi-way pots on those board textures isn't going to work too well as a bluff. So just call, take your pot odds, and then hope to win a little bit extra when you hit your ace or your queen that maybe sometimes going to be good. Don't start spewing just because you see small bet sizing. In heads up pots, maybe we can go for it a little bit. Multi-way pots, just take your pot odds, hope to hit, hope to make some money on the end. Completing with the 10-9 on table 6, and looks like we're just going to fold it now. Yeah, never mind. If you do see yourself in these videos and you see yourself with an unflattering tag, I do apologise. It's not meant to be insulting. It's just how I tag players. So if you see yourself as a green or a blue tag, please do not get offended. So here we have a situation with the sevens where it looks like we're going to go multi-way. I think we're looking at these two stack sizes and thinking, well, we're not going to get good implied odds from then. You've got UTR baby, or the yellow tag. That just means someone who's way too weak type, fit or fold. And if they have it, they just let you know. So we haven't got brilliant implied odds against UTR baby, but maybe we do against Theo, because when someone like 6x's from the small blind in this multi-way pot, pretty clear Theo's going to have a big hand here. I don't remember what I did. Genuinely don't remember. I'd like to see myself call just to try and set man against Theo or against the field, because if we flop a set, we're likely going to get some good value for that hand, either by stacking one of these guys for 40 or 30 blinds respectively, or maybe taking a full stack down from Theo. I don't remember what I did, but I'd like to see myself call. Oh, disappointing there. I think I should have called. I think this is the issue. I was looking there, and this is what I want to touch on slightly. I don't normally play 6 tables on Sky. I normally play 4, but I was playing 6 for the sake of the video to get more things to talk about within like the series. I think that's a mistake I made there, possibly through rushing. Even though it looked like I considered my options, I clearly didn't go through enough thought processes, and I didn't think quite hard enough, because I think I should probably call it. Yeah, it's 6x. I was probably put off a little bit by the 6x, like the size of the bet, but nevertheless, now I've got more time to think about it. I think I should have called. So forget that now, because it's gone. We have 2 jacks, so we have an open end, straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and a middle pair. Let's just see what happened before the flop, so we can have some context on table 2. So we have he limps. Right, he limps. We make it 4x. I like to see us bet here. I think we don't mind getting raised. We can call the raise and continue. We can certainly get value from flush draws from 10x, 9x. So yeah, I'd certainly like to see us bet this flop. We could make a case for checking back because we just have showdown value. We have a strong hand, but I think I'd like to see us bet on Sky for sure. We can certainly get value. Probably like to see me bet the turn as well, and maybe then check back the river. No, not sure I'm a big fan of that turn check. Because we can still get value from draws. Yeah, the 9's paired, which I guess worried me slightly, because we now beat a few less hands than we're beating on the flop. But again, I think I'd like to see me bet there. Maybe something in the region of like £1.40, something like that. If he raises, it's going to suck. Well, don't think we're going to get check raised too often. Quite often, if he has a 9, he'll just lead the turn. So would like to assume myself bet there. So there's definitely a product of 6 tabling going on here, because I think that's quite an easy bet on the turn. I mean, with you to checking back some rivers. And he leads into us big on the river now. We've got the straight. We kind of have to call here. We certainly can't raise. Folding's out of the question. I would expect to... The thing is now, if he has a 9, is he really betting a 9 here? That's a big question. How often does someone bet a 9 in this spot? I don't know his answer to that question. No idea. But we just have to call, obviously. And we won. So I guess our turn check got us paid there, but let's not play results. I don't think it's a good check. I'd like to see myself value bet this river. I think, would I? How's the hand gone down? We got 10-9 pre-flop. We raise it from the small blind, completely fine. Flop top pair. Right, so I check. Right, what's been going on so far? This is why I check this hand to this player. I think we've missed it on a few tables, but he was like, I got the read at the time. He was just going to be stabbing versus missed bets, because he stabbed the ace-9 earlier, and I seen him stabbing around another couple of pots. So my read was he stabs versus missed c-bets. So I think I tried to get tricky in a spot that just doesn't warrant really getting tricky in, and all of a sudden he's potted it. So, and he hasn't been potting other bets. So I'm not a big fan of my line here now. I think I'd rather just have bet versus him. I know why I did it. I remember why I did it. It's because I kind of thought we could make more money from him through checking and having him bet worse hands that would just fold if I bet. That was my logic. But I think I prefer to see myself just betting. Anyway, we called. I think like now check calling down here is going to be really like not great. Because we saw him on last hand, he didn't exactly bet big on the river with his made hand. So I'd rather assume myself just take the lead in that hand, and when I play against this guy in future, I will be leading hands like this. I know why I did it. Not a fan of the thought process, and this is why we're doing it. You know, because I think this is all a product of my 6 tabling, and it just goes to show that my autopiloting game isn't as good as my like playing more tables sort of game. So on the river, when he checks back, I think we should just value bet this to the tune of about 60 pence. Even though I think we don't get caught by that many worse hands, I would rather value bet like 60 or 70 pence and then make a check call against this player, given this check back the turn. And we do go for a bet. Don't you like? And we get that we just have to fold, of course. Yeah, so I do remember this session at the start of the session. Now, it kind of felt like I was getting completely owned by players that were clearly, in my opinion, just recreational players. And that can happen on Sky sometimes. You can just feel like, wow, I'm getting owned by these guys. Long term, we just get the money. It's just how it works. These guys make more mistakes than we do, and we get the money. Figuring these guys out when you've met them for the first time or you're playing them for the first time, it can be hard. If they just run slightly hot against you in terms of hands that they overvalue or what have you, and you just run slightly cold with hands that you can't quite either bet for value or you can't call them down with, it can feel like you're getting completely smashed to pieces by them. I can assure you that won't be the case, but over small sample sizes against unknowns, particularly when they have position on you, it can be quite taxing mentally. So don't allow yourself to fall into the trap of getting frustrated and tilted by them. The job is just get involved in hands with them, figure them out, and then go from there. So we now 3-bet spin with the pocket jacks. And he just folds, which again is quite annoying, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So yeah, do not get annoyed by these players. So many people, when they do video reviews of them or I talk to them, they'll mess with me in Skype. Reg, you're tilted, I blow my brains out, I get on tilt. I'm like, why, what have you done? Oh, this fucking fish, this fucking fish, that. And I'm like, no, if you're tilting and losing your money to fish, then more fool you. Because it's just a lack of discipline on your part. It's your own fault. And they'll try and blame the software or the fish or whatever. And there's no one else to blame but yourself. If you lose money to fish through spewing money off to them, then you literally are. You're the master of your own downfall, and you deserve to lose every penny that you lose because there's just no reason to be doing that. Just figure them out. Figure them out. Sit there, take your time, figure them out, wait for the good spots, and then just collect money from them. Nice spin again. He's going for the overbet this time. We just fold. And yeah, it's annoying. I was thinking this guy's completely owning me here. Everything I do, it just isn't working. We have a spot down here against Wild Rose. And I think I've got blue tag players, which are my tag for the worst players on the site. And apologies, Wild Rose, if you're watching, but that's my read at the moment. So he flopped up there. Wild Rose just donks out for pot. And I didn't know much about them. I just tagged them this colour because it just means I've seen them do something crazy. It could have been in a tournament, could have been in cash tables that they just play every single hand. Who knows? And I don't have a note on this player yet, which is a shame because he probably has some sizing tells or some action tells. So it's a shame I don't have this because when we're facing pot-sized donk bets, we just top pair, medium kicker on these board sections. It's not a lot of fun. I think we clearly have to call a flop. But I remember thinking at the time, if he pots the turn, we're probably going to fold on most turns. And he did just pot the turn. And he's not asking me a question here for 7-8. He's asking me for 15 quid. Do I want it, or 16 quid? Do I want to put £16 in more with this hand here? Just top pair, no kicker, or medium kicker. And I didn't want to. So I was irritated. But we folded. And this time, as you can see, he's checking a lot. I actually made quite a big mistake against this player later in the video. I just don't think we can call here either. He's got nothing. I think it's going to be a poor call if I make it. Did I call or not? No, I didn't. Yeah, I made a big mistake against this player later in one of the videos. Don't want to put too many spoilers out, but yeah. The hand that I'd like back versus him. But if I'm going to lose big pots, I want to lose them to recreational players, not regulars, because I like seeing recreational players win pots. Not against me. I'm not trying to pretend I'm super charitable, but if I'm going to lose a big pot, I'd much rather lose it to a rec player to give them some pleasure, to give them some inspiration to continue playing, etc. Yeah, losing a big pot to a regular, there's nothing to be gained from that. There is positive upsides to losing big pots to fish. If we're going to lose big pots, let's lose them to these guys. Poker King turns up. This guy fucking hates me. Not sure what I've done to upset him in my life, but he utterly hates me. He needles me at the table. I think his needling is directly related to just how fucking tilted he is. And he is a bit of a tilt monkey. Yeah. He just abuses me regularly. I ignore him now. I literally don't respond to him in the chat. He's probably going to end up watching this video because he does seem to comment quite a lot on, like, oh, doing another video, this, and he's probably watching this now, or a good chance he's watching this now. If you are watching this, King, just stop being a dick, lad. Whatever. I mean, I'm ignoring you. I'm not engaging with you. I'm really not sure what you benefit from doing whatever it is you're doing, but thanks for doing it, I guess, because it tells me where your mental state is, because you don't seem to do it all the time. You seem to do it when you're losing. So if you're losing at another table, I can usually tell by the abuse I'm getting the tables I'm at. So with this ace 10 here, we should just keep betting against Clique. Betting on the smaller side, because right, that many draws out there, and then I think, though, now I look at this sizing, I think I should have bet more on the turn so we could shove the river. I bet 110 on the turn. And if I'd bet, say, 140 or 150 on the turn, there would have been now £5 in the pot and that £5 in his stack. So then I could just have shoved this river. Now I've left myself with like an awkward stack size. I think I should still just shove as an overbet, though. And see what I do. But I've made a mistake on the turn. My sizing was that, again, I would never make this mistake when I'm just two table in speed poker tables, because I have more time to think about things. I would like to see 150 jam the river. That should have been the job. Now we've got like an awkward SPR. I think I start to see myself just overbet ship the river and hope he's got a hand like ace jack or something. I ended up betting a really weird size. I don't like this size. The third hand I played that I really don't like. Either bet really small here or jam. Betting £3, more than half his stack. It's piss poor. Really not happy with that. But it stems from my turn sizing. I haven't managed the pot well enough. Should have bet bigger on the turn to shove the river. Big mistake by me. He jams. Oh, remember the hand now. Now we have to call, of course, and of course we lose. So I still would have lost the same amount of money by putting the turn, by making the bigger bet on the turn and shoving the river. But I would have lost it in the right way then. I think I'm going to make this last hand, this ace 10 of diamonds, because we're coming up to the 20-minute mark of the video, and I think it's quite an interesting hand. I kind of half remember it. Rails to Rich. I hadn't seen him before, but I was kind of starting to think maybe he's a regular. Seen him at a couple of tables before now, and he didn't look like he'd been getting out of line. He looked pretty solid, so I think I eventually tagged him as a regular later in the video. So we defend his 3-bet with the ace 10 suited, because we're not mega deep. I thought we were deep, but we're not. But I still think it's a fine defend. It's way too tight to fold. We could argue 4-bet bluffing, but I'd rather 4-bet bluff with a hand like ace 10 offsuit and like call with ace 10 suited. He makes a really small c-bet. I don't know if he's trying to induce a raise or whether he's just like blocking it with ace king, ace jack, or just some random bluffs. Who knows what he's doing here? Don't really know what his intention is here with this bet. I think we have a really easy call. Let's hope to see a blue one on the turn. And we did see a blue one on the turn, and he, don't remember, he checks. Yeah, and I think we need to bet here. It looks very much to me like he has like a whiffed ace king, ace jack, maybe a hand like pocket eights, pocket nines, something like that, but not a strong hand. I don't, overpairs don't play this way very often. I'm very, very surprised if he's playing like aces, kings, or a set of queens this tricky. I just don't think it happens very often. So we need to bet, get him off ace king, get him off some middle pairs at some point. I mean, he's going to check call with a hand like pocket nines almost always here, but he didn't. He just folded, which we'll take. And yeah, I thought that hand was bigger for some reason. For some reason I thought that was a bigger pot, but it wasn't. And I think he makes a comment to me afterwards. I'm not sure. We'll just run the video for another couple of seconds. I think he maybe gave something away. Maybe not. Maybe that could have been later. No, we'll leave it there for now, and I'll put a note that we start the next video from 22 minutes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of like content, doing it this way. It's something different. I haven't done this kind of thing before. Let me know what you think of it, especially if you are like a Sky player. or something like that, because this is something you can do yourself. You can record your own sessions and you can watch your playback and find out spots that you're not playing too well, and then try and figure out why you didn't play them too well. Was it because, like I think in this video, I'm playing too many tables, therefore not allowing myself to deliver my A game? Or are you playing spots badly because even when you review it, you're like, shit, I really don't know what I should do here? Because all the hands I've looked at, I don't think I've played them badly because I haven't known what to do. It's because I've been rushing, I've been autopiloting, and it's just proof that my autopilot game isn't where I want it to be. But if you are reviewing something and you're thinking, fuck, even now I don't know what to do, well, then you've found a part of your game that you need to work on. And you need to, like, put something into your game that you probably previously wasn't there. So you go on your forums or your Facebook groups or whatever, you talk to your friends and you say, this situation, guys, what do you think? And that's how you learn, that's how you plug your knowledge gaps. So if you are a Sky player or a Unibet player, a lot of the guys say to me, how do you review your play on Sky and Unibet? Exactly like this. I just record sessions sometimes and I watch myself back. I don't do it all the time because it's very time consuming, but I think it's a good exercise to do, maybe once or twice a month at least, just to make sure that you aren't doing some shitty autopilot stuff that you can't find because you don't have tracking software. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Please leave some comments on the video, some likes, some shares, anything like that. Let me know what you think of it, and I'll probably be back on maybe 2 or 3 days from now to review from 22 minutes onwards. Bye for now.